tubers. This is your Suburbanator. It is New Year's Eve 2020. I'm sure many could agree this year just couldn't end fast enough. But anyhow, to any of you who read the title, I'm just going to jump into that announcement right away. This is going to be my last video here on the tube. I am switching over to Rumble. And I will leave a link in the description to my Rumble account to anyone who wants to follow me on Rumble. But not to worry, I am not deleting my YouTube account because I want to keep the name up and everything. And also, I'm just not going to go through the agenda of moving all those videos to Rumble because I'm still not familiar with Rumble. And who knows what Rumble's going to do in the future. So I'm just going to keep it simple, keep everything as is in a future Rumble video. If I need to reference, a video that I might have on the tube, I simply leave the link in the description to that video in question. So, yes, I'm also Suburbanator91 on Rumble, but Suburbanator91 is still here on YouTube, just not putting any more videos on YouTube. And everyone's going to ask, why am I doing this? Well, I don't believe in YouTube censorship, and I don't believe in them persecuting channels for their political views. You make one small mention of what they disagree with, they put their little fact checkers. Hey, I'll put a test right now. Election fraud! See if that'll trigger the fact checkers. But yes, YouTube can F themselves. I'm switching over to Rumble. And actually, there's a lot of good channels that have been exiled from YouTube that you could find on Rumble. So if you feel how I feel, yeah, do check out Rumble. So that's the big thing I wanted to clarify. That's the big thing I wanted to get out of the way here. Yes, you are once more watching the last video on YouTube from the Suburbanator. So those of you who've been following me and you have seen my more recent videos, we all know what the deal was with the 3500 for 2020, and that was my whole debacle with the bumper, the Western Automotive bumper. Still an ongoing thing with them. I really don't want to disclose at the moment, how I'm handling it, but I am handling it. But other than that, you can see, I think it was a video before that, called the new face of the Ram 3500. I pretty much show what I did to my stock Mopar bumper and the upgrades I made there. So still fairly cool what I did, and if I had known that I was just going to have the problems I have with that Weston bumper, well, what you're pretty much seeing in that video is what I would have just flat out done in the first place, and man, would have saved me a lot of headache there. Other than that, the 3500 is safe in its bay, and that's where it pretty much spends most of its time. So not much else to really see there in terms of the 3500. So while we're still in the garage, there's a couple other things I want to show, or a few things I want to show. This is what I bought my parents for Christmas, a new kerosene heater. It's a Dynaglow Pro. I forget exactly which model this is, but it will put out 80,000 BTUs. Check that out. And the really cool thing about it is how efficient it actually is for what it is. Their previous heater was a 60,000 BTU. Using the same amount of fuel as the old 60,000 BTU gives you 80,000 BTUs. Yeah, let's turn it on. It's actually fairly loud. That's why I haven't run it when I did the first part of this video. And you can see my breath. Alright. Getting ready to kick. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to talk a bit loudly because I don't know how badly this sound's going to drown out my voice. But you do have a heat control here, so you can control the fuel consumption if need be. So yeah, very nifty. Glad I could get this for my parents. Let me bring you around here. Oh yeah, it gets hot very instantly. There you go. Woo, that is hot. Yeah. So, got them this neat little thing here. That's all I really got to show here. In other news, nothing to go on for 2020. Yeah, this generator is 20 years old now, and One of our plans for 2021 is we plan to get a new one. The engine is just worn on this. In fact, one of the diagnoses I did, seeing why this generator kept dying, is it was losing compression. So while it was running, I pulled this oil dipstick like so, and you can see the smoke that was coming back at me. It's crazy. And I know if you suck all the oil, you drain it out through the bottom, you should only take 3/4 of a quart. I ended up getting well over that, so what was happening is because the rings are so worn, because there's so much blow-by, lots of gasoline was actually getting in the fuel. So it was washing away the oil and not letting the rings do their thing. So just got to keep changing the oil constantly every so often. Got lots of spare oil, and that's why I always keep my compressor fully compressed, so I can just use the tool to suck the oil out. So that's the story on that. But hey, it's been a good generator. At least it took 20 years to finally start having problems. Because unfortunately, nothing lasts anymore in today's disposable society. As far as other gas-powered equipment goes, yeah, this is our newer snowblower. It's already 2 or 3 years old, and it's already leaking oil. Great. But I am not really happy with this snowblower either. And I think one of the biggest flaws it has is if you look in the cowl, it's a serious flaw. This doesn't let all the snow go in. So what's happening is it just pushes the snow to the side like a plow. It doesn't really blow snow like it should. And this is the supposed heavy duty one. So this one's a bit of a letdown, and I had my reasons to think it would be a good one because, well, I know their tractors are good. They're lawn tractors. The SLTX 1054 that we have, which is already going to be 12 years old this summer. But I knew we should have gotten the Arians, I think it's called. Yeah, or Aaron's or something. It's the one that's orange, but I feel that's the one we should have gotten if we were going to get that size. But at least this one should still be under warranty. It's going to be better off than the next snowblower I'm about to show you. And here is that next snowblower I'm telling you about. Yeah, it's the 33-inch. This is another one that I was never really happy with. Always going through shear pins, but its last performance, I think we're ready to send it to the recycling bin. I mean, we're going to take it to our place, see what they got to say, but like, you can't even use up the auger belt squealing, and we just did the auger belts. I think the pulley itself is actually worn too. And no matter how tight I make the cable on the self-propelling system, I've completely lost reverse. I think it's not just the rubber drive wheel, but I think the actual flywheel itself wore out. Always had transmission problems. And I know the lighting's not too good. And if you're wondering what the engine is in the background, yes, that's my parents' 2020 Subaru. I'm using their high beams. But maybe I can show you what I'm talking about here. And I think I have a theory as to why this snowblower always sucks so bad. I mean, look how tiny those shear pins are. I'm of the theory that all Troy-Bilt did was they based it on a smaller snowblower. So in other words, this is probably like, picture the width of the wall of this cowl to maybe the center gearbox. They just added another section. Because Old Reliable certainly did not go through the amount of shear pins that this thing does. Not even the Cub Cadet goes through that many shear pins. I'm going through shear pins like Doritos on this. So, transmission problems, completely lost reverse, always losing reverse. Auger belts squeal every time you use it. I had to like keep stopping the snowblower because, you know, I had to do the whole driveway that way. But I thought to myself, you know what, it's still better than shoveling the stuff, I suppose. Even my mother agrees. Always having problems with the snow, always fixing it, always putting money into the snowblower. And I'm like, you know, we could pay our neighbor to just plow our driveway. So whatever the price goes, I don't want to disclose any numbers here because I just don't. But the cool thing about our place is if we don't even have to drive it to the scrapyard, they'll probably save it for parts. So that's probably what's going to happen. The only reason I took the Cub Cadet back out of the trailer is because just in case it gets smacked into a snowstorm between now and, well, by this point, Monday, you know, at least the Cub Cadet will somewhat do its job, but it's just leaking oil. So probably going to do that Sunday night. Get the Cub Cadet back on this trailer, and hell, even the Subaru could pull this trailer. So that's the story on the 33 inch, and I really do hope that it doesn't come back here. And there's my car, my brother's car, parked right in front of the 3500's bay. So not much to see other than 2020 was the year that I hit the 1 year mark with this car and all the good things I had to say about it. The one thing I meant to point out in that video, I've had my Sonata for a year. Unlike my other 4-cylinder cars, I actually got to keep the money I saved in gas. And having had my last refuel for the year, my fuel budget was lower than I thought, so meat and potatoes, I'm not going to bore you with the nitty-gritties. This car slashed my fuel budget by over 60%, 62, 63% to be exact. So almost 2/3 compared to when I daily drove the 3500. And then my brother has, of the same year, the Hyundai Elantra, or as I like to jokingly call it, the Cilantro. Wondering why I haven't parked like this. Yeah, we're obviously not going to see the woods back there. I barely see them. Just in case trees fall from the freezing rain we're supposed to get smacked with later on. Heck of a way to start off 2021, so yeah, that's why I got the wipers up and everything, and that's what I'm going to soon put my parents' Subaru in this garage bay. In fact, that's the next thing I'm going to do. So, well, there she be. Safe in its garage bay now from the freezing rain, along with my truck here. But now that it's here in the garage, here's the 2-inch receiver I put in this. Also from Draw Tight, and it has this tow strap loop. That's how I know that this Subaru is my parents' Subaru. Oh, nice. Even able to fit the snowblower in there. That's the one benefit of 26-inch. And yes, what you just caught here just now is the snow tire. Yes, this is the Dunlop Winter Max on the Subaru. Really amazing in the snow. Well, that's pretty much all I got to show here. And that wraps up 2020 and my last video here on the tube. So you'll just have to follow me on Rumble from here on out. I want to thank all my subscribers, thank my audience. Many of you good folks are very supportive, and I hope to hear from you good folks on Rumble. So have a safe and happy new year, and I just hope 2021 is a better year for all of us.